Hey guys, John Ross here for Ross Racing. Got a little bit different video for you today, but I hope you'll enjoy it. This is part one of a 5-part series I'm doing called Dirt Track Racing for Beginners. The idea here is to give an overview of all the basics of the sport of dirt track racing. The cars, tracks, and the people that make a night of racing happen. This is geared towards newcomers to the sport who are looking for a place to start, but even if you're a veteran of the racing scene, I hope you'll stick around and give your 2 cents. Maybe you can help fill in some gaps or, call me a dumbass in the comments, whatever you want to do. Now, for part one of this series, I wanted to make the case for why you, yes, you, should get into dirt track racing. Whether that means driving, working on a car as a crew member, helping out as a track official, or even just supporting your local track as a fan from the stands, I hope this video convinces you to take the next step in getting involved with your local racing community. So without further ado, let's get into reason number one, the people. One of the first things any racer or fan will tell you about this sport that we all love is how many great people we've met as part of our racing journey. I personally have made lifelong friends all across the country who I never would have met if not for racing. In general, the racing community is very supportive of newcomers. If you're joining as a competitor, other racers will often want to help you out with advice or even parts and tires because they want to see the sport grow and have a bigger base of people to compete against. Of course, if you're wanting to get involved in working on cars, many teams will be eager to help you develop those skills, as well as provide pizza and beer in exchange for your help with their racing program. If you're a new fan in the stands, you'll find no shortage of enthusiastic lifelong fans and probably some former racers as well who will be happy to answer your questions and point out what to watch for. Now let's move on to reason number 2 to get involved in dirt track racing, the atmosphere. This one is a little harder to explain if you haven't experienced it, but I'll try my best. If you've ever attended a really good concert, the kind where the energy of the band and the crowd seem to crackle in the air, that's what being at the racetrack is like. Racing is something you experience with all your senses. The sights of the on-track action, sound of the engines, which you also feel in your chest, smells of dirt and race fuel, and of course the taste of a Frito chili pie from the concession stand are all things everyone deserves to experience at least once. But beyond just experiencing a night at the races, participating will give you a sense of reason number 3, the competition. Whether you're a driver or you're just there to scrape the mud off after hot laps, being part of a race team in competition with other teams is a feeling like no other. It's a sort of tribalism that our brains are hardwired to enjoy. Even the cheering section for a particular driver in the stands can consider themselves part of the team. If you're not ready to take the plunge into actual competition, pick a driver to root for. It doesn't matter if it's because they're your friend, or they have a cool-looking car, or you just like the way their name sounds. What does matter is that in some way, you'll feel like a part of the team. Now, reason number 4 is a little bit more practical, the skills. Racing is a good way to develop the kind of people skills that are associated with any team sport. Unlike stick and ball sports, however, racing can develop a number of useful technical skills as well. Aside from the obvious benefits of driving a high-powered vehicle on a slippery surface can have for your hand-eye coordination and reflexes, racing provides opportunities to apply the principles of math, chemistry, physics, and much more, not to mention mechanical skills like fabrication, welding, business management, marketing, and the list goes on. We'll do a full video on this topic later in the series. Now, that's a lot of practical stuff, but the 5th and final reason is simple. For the fun of it. At the end of the day, few if any of us are going to make it big in racing. So this is the most important reason of all. I may be biased, but I think there's few things more fun than a night at the races. Hanging out in the stands with your buddies and drinking a few beers has its own self-explanatory appeal. But being on the pit side and being a part of making the show happen is a thrill that can, and often does, hook a person for life. Even when things go wrong, and they often do, racing is a sport of lows as well as highs. The satisfaction of overcoming adversity and getting those little wins, like just making it out for the feature after tearing something up in the heat race, makes it all worth it. Well, I hope I've convinced you that getting involved in your local racing scene is something that you can and should try out. The rest of this video series will help you prepare for your first night at the races, or your next night if you've already taken the plunge. I'll be giving you some background info on the types of cars, tracks, and scenarios you might encounter. If you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you like, comment, subscribe, and come back to check out the next one. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.